Okay, let's see. Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here. 1 second. Rabbi E for short. Pennsylvania, 13,000. Welcome to Rabbi E in 3, sponsored by MEOR DC, Georgia, 2,000. For less than 2,000, a little less than 2,000. Brought to us by MEOR DC. Thank you for tuning in. Just 1 second. Let me just check Arizona. Oh wow. I'm going to refresh it for a second. Yeah, so I'm Rabbi Edelstein. This is MEOR DC in 3. No, Rabbi E in 3, MEOR DC. I'm sorry. I'm going to refresh now the election results just to see, because as I was stumbling through that introduction, the ballots could have changed, might well have changed. Biden is still up 13,000. Wow, Georgia's close. I used to live in Georgia. Wow, it's really close. Trump's now behind. Has this been your life for the last 5 days, or at least 3 days since election day? Well, it's been my life. So that's why I began Rabbi E in 3, sponsored by MEOR DC. I'm Rabbi E. I know who I am. I know who you are. I know who this is. But I needed to show you the craziness that I speak to myself, and only to myself, really, mostly to myself, have been, allowing myself to descend to this week. What I mean is, wait. Let me just refresh. Let me just double check. Let me just double check the ballots. They're coming in. Yep. I haven't had a normal conversation this week. I haven't had a normal dinner this week. Forget the share there. I'll stop the share. I haven't had anything normal this week because I'm refreshing the button on the election results every second. Is it an important election? Of course it is. Of course it is. Is my refreshing the button every 5 milliseconds going to affect the ballot counting, the race, the state of our country? An emphatic no. And I am not criticizing you, or maybe myself, for being overly obsessive about the election results, but I have a simple, modest proposal, again, for myself. And if you want to listen in, maybe you'll take up this modest proposal too. And that is, let's not, for the next, starting in about an hour or 2 hours, I guess, for the next 25 hours after sundown tonight, let's not, myself included, press the refresh election results button, and let's press the Shabbos refresh button and get some real refreshment. And the truth is, I did want to speak for this week's Rabbi Ian 3 about that, about one of the amazing benefits of Shabbos. There are many amazing benefits of Shabbos. On an intellectual level and on a faith level, it's a testimony that God created the world and that we're emulating God. He rested on the 7th day after a period of creative activity. We're supposed to step back and rest from our creative activity for 6 days, making the world, remaking the world, fixing the world, and so on. So it's a testimony, and that's in both an intellectual perspective and, of course, a discipline to step back and acknowledge that we are not completely the masters of creation. That's an important Jewish idea. We're partners, junior partners in creation, but we're not the masters. That's one benefit of Shabbos. Said another way, it's a better perspective on our, actually a different point, a better perspective, a bigger perspective on our lives. We step back. We can get caught up in the ballot counting rat race, and we step back and say, okay, like there's a bigger picture. That's very useful. And I guess that's both intellectual, spiritual. It's physically delightful. Menucha means rest. Of course, the physical rest aspect of Shabbos is very important. A good night's sleep and the delicious food of Oneg Shabbat, of enjoying Shabbat. So physical rest will lump together with the category of the physical pleasures, the physical blessings of restoring restfulness, sanity, nourishment, because when you're checking coffee, and I don't smoke cigarettes, but I can imagine I'm probably some of the guys, I probably at 538, I don't think they smoke cigarettes, do they? No, who smokes, or Politico, but everyone who's, the pundits, probably people not eating very well, not sleeping very well this week. So Shabbos is a great time for the physical menucha, the beautiful rest of Shabbos. But let's talk, and this is why it's relevant to this context, the spiritual benefit and the psychological benefit of letting go. Taking the finger off the cursor, taking the finger off the refresh the election results button. What was it with Georgia's? I think less than 2,000. What is it? Pennsylvania's still Biden up for, he went up again. Okay, I mean, letting go. Is that a statement that the election's not important? Of course not. And whenever we let go, whether it's the election or our own worries or the stack of work that we didn't finish before Shabbos started, we're letting go, and that's a blessing, and that's an elevation. And that doesn't say that we don't think that stack of work, that stack of ballots, I want to check out those ballots. It's not important. Of course it's important, but it's not so important that I'm going to let it take over everything in my life, and certainly not going to crowd my perspective so much that I lose sight of the bigger picture. Again, if someone's actually in a life-endangering situation, of course, Jewish law says you don't step back, you don't let go. But certainly, I'm not even a ballot counter. I'm many, many steps removed from being a ballot counter. So I myself, Rabbi E, am dying for the 25-hour break to start for me pressing the election results button. I want to press the Shabbos refresh button, and I'm going to do that. So letting go is one of the spiritual, psychological benefits of Shabbos, and it's a really serious one, and we know that. You know how many books every day, there are more books coming out about mindfulness, and a lot of them are beautiful Jewish books, Jewish psychologists and rabbis and spiritual leaders talking about mindfulness in a Jewish context. But whether you're Jewish, not Jewish, one of the essential lessons of mindfulness is letting go of obsessively following your own thoughts, and certainly being able to let go of obsessively pushing the election refresh button, right? It's not up to me whether Biden wins or Trump wins. That's an important thing for our country. I've been as consumed as the rest of us this week. But I'm going to take 25 hours off of that, let God do the ballot counting, and whoever else is doing it, professionally inclined, because it's their civic duty and they're doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'll come back after 25 hours and I'll see. And whatever it is fair. And then I'll immerse myself back into the 24/6 ballot counting rat race, as it were. But Shabbos is that incredible pause that refreshes in our life, true refreshment. So I would just say to you, it's whatever, anything I teach, it's an invitation to you to take me up on what I'm saying, but I'm going to take myself up on it. I cannot wait for this Shabbos. It's been a hard week for the whole country, myself included. We're all anxious. We're all nervous, but we're going to let go. I'm going to let go, I should say. Let go and let God determine the ultimate outcome, an important outcome that's, as I emphasized, to do such a thing, to keep Shabbat, is not a declaration of, passivity or the lack of importance of things in this world. Of course not. 6 days you'll do your work, important work, life-changing work, world-fixing work. But on the 7th day, you let go, you step back, bigger picture, perspective, rest, wine, good wine, get a bottle of great kosher wine. There's some great kosher wine out there. I don't think people know that as much. A lot of people of the older generation still think it's only Manischewitz. Manischewitz is wonderful. Support Manischewitz, but there are a lot of great wines. So get a bottle of wine, light candles, Shabbat, tune inward, leave the ballot counting for a few hours. That's what I'm going to do. Shabbos, really, this week's Torah portion is called Vayera. It was not our topic today, but Vayera talks about many tests that Abraham has, culminating in the test of bringing Isaac up as an offering. Very different than ballot counting. But the idea of a test is that Hashem, God, gives all of us, Jew, Gentile, man, woman, every day of our lives, challenges, opportunities. But a test in Hebrew, the word nisayun, is related to the word banner, the idea being raising up a banner, elevating a banner with a great message. Trump wins, Biden wins, Trump wins, right? That's an important message. Every challenge is about elevating us, bringing out from within us the greatness we have, and let that be an elevation and a message for us and for the world, an elevation for us and for the world. What's the test of Shabbos? The test of Shabbos is, am I going to be able to let go? And other ideas, but am I able to let go, even of an important election? Wait, I think it's still 13,000 in Georgia. Was it 13,000? No, that's Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. To let go of that for 25 hours. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos. You know what? After 25 hours, whoever will be ahead between Trump and Biden, you'll be ahead. right? Whoever wins this election, and I hope and pray as we all do, that this country should come together, that it should unite, and that we should be great. And that America should be great always and again, whoever is in the Oval Office. But whoever wins, if we take 25 hours to broaden our perspective, deepen our connection to ourselves, others, have some spirituality, have some beautiful food and wine. In other words, taste the delight of Shabbat. If we do that, I think we win. Have a wonderful Shabbos. And yeah, good Shabbos, America. From Rabbi E and 3. And now I'm going to go check Arizona just to make sure if anything didn't change. And Nevada, what's going on in Nevada? I mean, I want to see the results from there. Good job.